You wouldn't think they're a man light because here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's back for Ardagula!
Coming up on today's show.
What a sweet finish from Gundogan.
Manchester City hit Al Ain for 6.
Jobe, it's his first ever goal from City.
Jude Bellingham stars for Real Madrid as they recover from an early sending off.
Asensio gets a good grip on Rondon.
Kenan Yildiz fires Juventus to another impressive win.
Oh, what a goal!
And Borussia Dortmund edge out Mamelodi Sundowns in a 7-goal thriller.
What a moment for Sundowns! Oh!
Stay tuned for all the action.
Jobe Bellingham on the volley!
Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards, Alex Aljoe and me, Gary Lineker. Manchester City and Juventus follow Bayern Munich and book themselves into the knockout stages of the Club World Cup. Don't forget, every single match is available to watch live and for free on the DAZN app. No subscription required. We've got a full house. Micah's back.
What's happening, guys? How are we? Everyone all good?
We're all good.
Yes. I just thought I had some time off to put my feet up. You know what I mean? I've been working for too much. And I can't work 2 days in a row, guys. You know that.
Well, I think Alex certainly is over there. I mean, where are you now?
I'm in Atlanta now. So, yeah.
Is that
Atlanta
because that's
today.
about the furthest place you can get away from the sea? So you don't get any sharks attacking you
Exactly. Atlanta today, and then I'm off to Charlotte, and then off to Orlando after that. So
Which games? Remind us.
Yeah, so I was at Manchester City game last night against Al Ain. We'll talk about that in a moment, I'm sure. And then Bayern Munich Benfica, that's in Charlotte. And then I've got that big one in Orlando, the Manchester City Juventus game on Thursday. So really looking forward to that.
Probably decide who wins the group, which is vital because of the Real Madrid connotations. We'll talk about that in a little while. What do you make of Atlanta?
It's quite a strange place. It's not Miami. The shops are good. I've done a bit of shopping.
Atlanta's good. It's good, Atlanta.
I did one of my first presenting gigs in Atlanta at the Olympics in 1996. And there's actually a film about it now, not my presenting, but there's a film about that Olympics because there was a bomb went off.
Oh my God.
And it was in the early hours of the morning because I was walking to the studios because I had the what we called the death shift, which was sort of 5 a.m. through to 8 a.m. or something. I did it with Hazel Irvine. First time I'd really done any proper regular presenting. And I remember walking out the hotel and hearing this massive explosion. And then I had great difficulty whether they let people through. And I was saying, I need to get to work. And and there's a film out about it recently, actually. So it was a bit scary, that was.
Really scary.
I'm not trying to scare you.
I was going to say, no wonder they called it the death shift.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just bringing down the mood, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I was all right. It was okay.
As long as you're all right, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Well, come on. It's a long time ago. It's 30 years ago almost. God.
And he lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
The stadium's amazing. I love the stadium. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Roof on. Air conditioning. It was actually freezing in there.
Oh, wow.
Last night. But at one point, it actually felt like a nightclub. At half time, with the roof on, all the lights out, flashing lights everywhere. They were blasting out club anthems. But a really good atmosphere. 40,000 in there last night as well. So yeah, it was great.
6-0 for Manchester. Al Ain, Alex, I mean,
sorry,
I've got to mention it again that you did actually tip them to go through.
Let's move on. And it's not just Al Ain, by the way. I tipped another team to go through. I will confess, because I'm sure you'll call me out later on if I don't, but Ulsan HD as well. I'm not sure why. Did I say Ulsan HD? I think I did.
I think you did.
I was just trying to, a bit of variety, mix it up.
I think I did say at the time, you'll either look a hero or
and I look like an idiot.
Absolute
shambles.
Basically,
I look like an idiot, yeah.
Not
all right. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, well, there has to be an upset somewhere, but it's just not the teams I picked.
Haaland was ready for it to come, but it's the back of the net anyway. What a sweet finish
But yeah, so they actually needed 7 goals, really, which is why they were pushing and pushing and pushing towards the end.
Yes.
Because 7 goals would have meant they could win, but they could draw. Against Juve and top the group. But now they have to win to top the group on
because
Thursday.
Juve draw, they go through on goal difference.
Exactly. So no wonder they wanted 7.
I've got it exactly here. City play Juventus on Thursday to come out on top of Group G. City, obviously, as you just beautifully explained, have to win to top the group as Juve have a better goal difference. Second place in this group, and this is the important bit, will play top of Real Madrid's group.
But we don't know Real Madrid will finish top, do we? So
no, we don't, but they could well do. So it's one of those, isn't it? You don't know whether to stick or twist. But I guess both teams would want to avoid Real Madrid. And that's, of course, what happened in the Champions League this season, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
They ended up playing Real Madrid in that kind of playoff role.
Yeah, they play them a lot. I feel like Real Madrid, Manchester City is a fixture we see all the time.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
Definitely going to happen. But
and how did they look inside the stadium, Alex?
Yeah, actually, what was straightforward for them, really straightforward. İlkay Gündoğan was the player of the match with 2 goals. The first goal, unsure whether he meant it. The Allian keeper is quite small, but I asked him about it at the end, and I think he didn't seem sure whether he meant it or not. It was really vague, his answer. He was
that means he didn't mean it, Alex. It means he didn't mean it. Yeah.
Is that the rule? You're
That's
vague.
The rule. If you're vague, you don't mean it.
Yeah. He was like, I was not sure. I was thinking, okay. But the second one he definitely did mean, which was a brilliant goal.
Picking out Gündoğan, who's in for his second goal of the game.
And then also shout out to the 19-year-old Claudio Echeverri, who used to play for River Plate. And they could face River Plate, by the way, in the quarterfinals. First start for Manchester City. It was an amazing free kick and really interesting what Pep said. He sort of called out his other players after the game because he said he scored that because he practices them every single day after training. He goes, the other players don't score them because they don't.
Echeverri, very good goal.
El Diablito, the little devil, they call him. But
El
so
Diablito,
good.
I like
El
that.
Diablito. But yeah, no, he was brilliant last night. Ryan Nori had an amazing debut. Shirky with his first goal for Manchester City. And Rodri came on again in the 60th minute, and Pep said he's still not ready to start.
Alex, can I just ask you? Man City have pretty much fielded 2 teams in the games, haven't
11 changes.
They have. It's been madness, and I've obviously watched both games. Who's impressed you the most? Because I heard players talking about the pitches and not really good, and then it's been too hot. But out of not even just the new players, just the players that you've seen, who's impressed you the most, would you say?
Which team, though? Which team are we talking about?
Well, but
it was like an entirely different team.
From both, because obviously they brought in Nori, who looks really good. They brought in Shirky, who looks outstanding at times. A bit quiet in the first game, but obviously did a lot better last night to us.
One player which I think obviously deserves a mention was Phil Foden, who was absolutely brilliant in that first game, like the Phil Foden of old, with a goal and assist in that. It was Spom, superior player of the match. That's Gary's calling it that.
Spom.
The Spom, I like it. So yeah, he was brilliant in that first game. I think the fact there is so much competition as well, and Nunes said it before the game last night, there's 2 players in every position. The fact that they are all competing for their place, essentially, means they have to be at the top of their game. But interesting to see what will happen, because he said they need to trim that squad, that there's too many players. So interesting to see whether they'll finish this tournament with the same squad or whether players will leave. I'm going to ask him, I'm biding my time. I'm going to ask Pep at some point, but maybe after the Juve game. And also what's going to happen to the players left. There's 5-6 players left behind. What's going to happen to them?
He has said, hasn't he, Pep, that he doesn't want a big squad. He doesn't want to leave 5 or 6 players at home when they're going to away games or whatever it is, whatever games they're playing. He doesn't want that. So I would expect there's still a lot of activity, both incomings and outgoings at City, don't you think?
The only thing I would say nowadays, don't you need a big squad because the amount of football they're playing? If they've got this tournament now, which they could go deep in, then it goes almost immediately back to the start of the season. You're going to have Champions League games going on all the time. At the end of this season, you've got a World Cup, which most of City's players will be involved in. You're going to get injuries during the season. I don't know whether you can get away with having a small squad. What do you think, Micah?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think as the season goes on, especially the quality, and the reason why I asked Alex that question at the start is because I thought Reinders was absolutely outstanding in that first game in terms of the way he dictated the tempo of the game. And it was a little bit deeper in the first half, then it went a little bit more offensive. So when you've got the likes of Rodri coming back in and Reinders can play alongside him, you've got Bernardo Silva and Gundogan as well. I think they're starting to shape up really nicely. But I think Pep likes a smaller squad because he likes to be able to have the control. Imagine living out big hitters all the time. But what you said there in terms of the amount of games, I don't think it will want it as small as maybe he mentioned in that interview, because you're going to need players if you want to be successful next season, for sure.
Well, they've certainly got some new players. There's a lovely bit of play, wasn't there, between Cherki and Haaland for that goal, which may bode well for that kind of relationship that they might have together throughout this tournament and the season ahead.
I was just going to say Haaland looks slightly off it. I know he scored yesterday. I thought it was a bit harsh. The headline was Haaland ends his goal drought at the Club World Cup. He didn't even start in the first game. But still, just one goal from open play in his last 11 games. And he did miss a couple of chances yesterday that you'd expect Erling Haaland to put away. It didn't matter against Al Ain, but coming up against Juventus, he's going to have to do better.
Absolutely. Mike has tipped them to win the tournament, so he'll be happy.
Not biased at all, Mike, are you?
No, everyone's back, aren't they? And just the players that they've got. They mentioned the movement with Cherki. The thing is good about him, he can play on the wing as well. So I know he wants to play number 10, but he can also take people on, especially on that right-hand side. And he's both-footed. And please tell me you've seen him shooting with one foot, taking corners of his... The only other player I've seen do that in recent history is Dembele. It's the only player I've do it. He's so two-footed. He's a joke. Yeah. He's going to cause people so many problems in the Premier League next season. I can't wait.
Manchester City could well play Real Madrid in the next round, as we already mentioned, and they eased past Pachuca, didn't they? Even though they went down to 10 men early with a bit of madness from Asensio.
I watched that game and I was thinking, what's going on with Real Madrid? They're obviously a new manager. They've still got top players. Vinicius Jude is not really sort of hit the ground running. Trent's come in, played a lot better in the second game. Yeah. But defensively, on the transition, they're just not good enough at this moment in time. Rondon, do you remember Rondon from West Brom?
Yeah.
He was causing them...
Rondon.
Big Solomon Rondon was causing them all sorts of problems. All sorts of problems. But then, who steps up?
Jude. What a finish as well. Took it on one foot, boshed, left foot, far corner. Beautiful finish.
Didn't he say everyone said his brother was better than him, so he had to score after Jobe got player of the match?
And Jobe scored as well, didn't he? Jobe, his brother.
The day before, yeah, exactly.
They're bossing it, the Bellinghams.
They did so well with 10 men, though. You definitely couldn't tell they had 10 men on the pitch. Tchouameni moved back into defence. And Ardagula, brilliant as well, scoring their second. I think he likes playing that in that more central role as opposed to on the wing. He did really, really well. So I think we'll definitely see more of him in this tournament. Yeah, in that central role.
He came out actually and said, Ardagula said he feels much more important now. Xabi Alonso talks to him every day. Maybe Carlo didn't want to chat to him. I don't know whether he had some problem there.
Yeah, it sounds as if he's going to play a bigger part though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And Rodrigo, not so much at his expense, probably.
Yeah, possibly.
Thibaut Courtois, some unbelievable saves as well. I think 10 saves, in total. So good.
Great goalkeeper.
Rodrigo said he doesn't want to play on the right, didn't he, Alex? I think that's where the frustration is coming from. Everyone wants to play on the left, even though they're right-footed, so they come on.
The thing is, if he doesn't want to play for the right, he ain't getting in on the left, is he, with the players they've got?
Well, that's what I mean. I think he could leave in the summer, Rodrigo. I really believe he could leave.
He's a good player. Really
top
good player.
Top player.
He's been linked with Arsenal, actually, hasn't he, Rodrigo?
Yeah, he has been linked with Arsenal.
They've got, obviously, Martinelli, but he's not really trained on, I don't think, to the expectations that perhaps we thought.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's fair. I think Rodrigo would fit in really good in the Arsenal system for sure. But I just want to give a little shout out to Gonzalo Garcia, the striker for Real Madrid, the young player. He's played really well, you know. I was watching him in the first game, I was thinking, was it just, you know, when you get like a chance early doors and it's just adrenaline, and then you see him the next game and then you're thinking, he's actually got it. Of course, he played for Real Madrid for a reason, but in terms of this level, he looked really composed. He was playing people in. He knows where the goal is. I was really impressed with the youngster.
He's come from the academy, hasn't he? From Real Madrid Castilla. So they know him well, obviously. They're good at doing that, aren't they, Real Madrid? Bringing these players through.
Or signing them on freeze.
That as well.
Generally. Let me explain the situation in that group. Real Madrid and Salzburg both sit on 4 points, 2 points ahead of Al Hilal. They play each other in the early hours of Friday morning. The winner will top the group, and the loser likely will go out if Al Hilal beat Pachuca, which is likely. A draw between Madrid and Salzburg and an Al Hilal win will have all three teams on 5 points. And all would have drawn with each other, so it'll go down to goal difference. Madrid will be ahead of Salzburg by 1, so then it would depend on the Al Hilal result. They currently are 1 behind Salzburg and 2 behind Madrid on goal difference. Could be an interesting finish to Group H. Would you like that? Would you like to...
In Spanish.
Can
you say that in layman's terms, please?
It's pretty simple.
That would be a tester. Yeah, I'm sure you've all got that. Juve and Inter, 2 Italian sides have both won in the last few days. Juventus thumped Wydad, didn't they, from Casablanca?
This finds a pocket, and now Thuram back through the Yildiz. It deflects it in.
Yildiz is a player who's he was very unlucky actually not to get a hat-trick. I don't know whether you saw the first goal got taken away from him. And then he scored a stunner. Also at the end of the game, they had a penalty and he might have been able to take that, but he was off the pitch by then. But he looks Italian.
It's a bit harsh taking that first one off him. Do you think so?
Yeah, I thought it was harsh, yeah. I mean, why do they want to do that? That's what I don't understand. I mean, if there's an element of doubt, give it the goal scorer. I mean, the defender doesn't want it. He doesn't want an own goal on his back.
Yeah, I should maybe have watched Yildiz' highlights reel, shouldn't I, before I said Juve were going to go out.
Did you say Juve was going to go out?
Oh, Alex.
I said Al Ain to go. I need to stop reminding viewers, don't I? But Al Ain over Juve. What was I thinking?
No. In fairness, though, to you, Juve have been up and down for a while now. In terms of what they produce, like they've got Yildiz, they've got Conceição, you know, the tricky winger, and they've got Vlahovic and Koromwani. So on paper, you're thinking they should score a lot of goals and should play very well, but they've not really got it together. So I've got you back on that one, Alex.
The only thing I would say, Alex, you may have had the worst debut since Jonathan Woodgate at Real Madrid.
Oh dear.
It's cruel, too cruel.
It's so cruel. Micah, do you think City will beat them on Thursday?
Well, because City playing 2 teams, they'll probably mix on the last game, won't they? I think, yeah. I think they will. I think City are just controlling games too much. I don't know if you've seen the first game. There was basically playing 2 at the back and everyone forward, rotations.
They've not played anyone yet, though, have they really?
I know, yeah, but in terms of Man City are known for keeping the ball, and in the heat, making people run around always becomes very difficult. So
you see Jude Bellingham complaining about the pitches.
I saw that, yep.
Probably with the heat, they're too dry, and you know this ball sticks under your feet. It's probably played in a lot of those kind of pitches.
Yeah, it didn't stop his finish though, did it?
No.
Great finish, wasn't it?
It was. Talking of great finishes, the Yildiz, his second goal, wasn't it? The screamer. I mean, cool, he really hit that beautifully, didn't he?
Yeah, but Cambiasso in the build-up, his footwork was unbelievable. So good. What a goal that was.
That was like one of Alan Shearer's, that goal. It was.
Was that you?
It was actually.
Are you being kind?
Well, I mean, his was more technique. Yours was more hit and hope.
There we go. That's better. That's much better.
But in terms of where the ball actually ended up in the top corner, it was about the same. Yeah.
Well, we'll move on to Inter. God, they got I felt for Real Diamonds. I mean, they looked like they might sneak a victory in that game and ended up on the end of a last-minute defeat.
Last minute.
Yeah, an amazing bicycle kick from Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah,
wasn't
it? Wow.
Yeah, I actually watched it from baggage reclaim at Atlanta Airport. They had the football on the screens. It was amazing.
On your baggage?
Never miss a minute.
It was a great finish because he was actually going away from goal, wasn't he? He was going towards the 6-yard line, which was away from goal. And somehow he managed to sort of flick it around and acrobatically get there. It was an incredible finish.
Let me give you a little bit of explainer. Another one of these groups. It's amazing because in World Cups and the format's pretty much the same. We don't seem to have too many really complicated scenarios at the end, but we do seem to be having that. And here's another one. Inter Milan and River Plate both sit on 4 points and play each other on Thursday. The winner will top the group and the loser may go out if Monterrey win. The permutations are exactly the same as the Real Madrid group. If Inter and River draw and Monterrey win, all teams will be on 5 points. All teams have drawn with each other, so it will go to goal difference once again. River are on 2 plus 2, Inter plus 1, and Monterrey on 0. So if Monterrey win by a couple and Inter draw, Inter could go out. If Monterrey win by 1, Inter will go through on more goals scored. So there you have it. Very simple. Straightforward.
So simple. A player to watch at River Plate, by the way, Franco Mastantuono, who's already signed for Real Madrid.
Yes.
17 years old. He's not going to join them till next season. But he takes all the free kicks, which I think is unbelievable at 17.
Franco, say it again.
Mastantuono, Argentinian.
Mastantuono. What a name. Wow.
What a name.
Flows off the tongue, that one. We'll keep an eye out for that one. Dortmund, your favourite team, Mamelodi Sundowns, Al. I mean, what a game that was.
Was it them being so good or was it Dortmund 4-1 up and foot off the pedal and
probably a bit of both.
Taking it easy or what? Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was midday in Cincinnati, so it was boiling. I don't know whether you saw, but the Borussia Dortmund subs were actually watching the game from inside the dressing room.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's been impressive for the Sundowns, and that's Lucas Ribeiro. Really good goal, wasn't it? Broke through.
Yeah, 60-yard run for that goal, the opener. The three of them, actually, so it's Reyners, Matthews, who played for Borussia Dortmund, a youth team, and Ribeiro.
Should he have passed there? He did a lot of work when he ran through, and he had one person to his left, one person to his right. If he didn't score that goal,
Micah, there's no argument if you score. There is only an argument if you fail to score and you don't pass it. At least then you can have a discussion. If you knock it in the net, it's the right decision.
Okay, fair. And the run deserved a goal.
It did.
But it didn't look assured that he was going to score. It was like the keeper
not passing from there.
Yeah, he's not passing.
But after that run, if you pass it and they don't score, then what are you thinking?
You could blame someone else.
And what a start for Jobe Bellingham. Well, going to Dortmund, following his brother there, and then also scoring like his brother's done.
Wait, hold on. I know the brothers, but they moved the exact same. I was watching the game.
Yeah.
I was like, he like all his mannerisms, the way he chops back, the way he does. 1 minute, I thought he was doing it was crazy. I was like,
yeah, I thought the same thing.
He's going to be a superstar as well. You know that? I think so? He is. I actually think he is. And the reason I say that is because he can tackle, he can pass, but he's going to get a lot of goals because he arrives late in the box. And that is the difference with midfielders now. There's so many good midfielders in top end of football. But in terms of the eye-catching ones, it's the ones that score goals and get an assist. And I think in the German league, the Bundesliga, I think he's going to do that.
Well, let's hope so. Let's wish him well. Quick recap on that group. Borussia Dortmund and Fluminense both sit on 4 points with Mamelodi on 3. Dortmund play Ulsan, Alex's favourite team, and Fluminense play Mamelodi.
You said you wouldn't bring it up again.
I didn't. I just said it was a favourite team.
Okay.
So the big two teams likely to go through. A couple of other things I just want to talk about before we go. Firstly, England under-21s. Lee Carsley again, who won the competition, obviously, didn't he, 2 years ago. And they've beaten Spain, which is always a major achievement, particularly at young levels, to get through to the semi-finals where they'll play the Netherlands. James McAtee, Harvey Elliott and Elliot Anderson scored the goals. He's got something, Lee Carsley. I still think he should have got the England job.
Do you know what? I think even listening and reading quotes from the players, you can tell there's a huge amount of freedom for those players to go and express themselves and be what they want, do what they want within reason, and there's definitely a great harmony he's got there, and he's doing a fantastic job again, Lee Carsley. Yeah.
Ashley Cole's his assistant as well, doing good work.
Without Liam Delap as well, he was named in the provisional squad, but then of course at Chelsea he is at the Club World Cup, so he can't play. But they could do with him out there for sure.
I think that's a good point that you mentioned, Al, because England in the group stages have not actually played that well. They were sort of bumbling the way through. They was trying to find the right formula, and then actually against Spain, they started really sloppy, and then as the game grew on, they got the goal, and then it was outstanding. Some of the combinations were brilliant. In terms of the subs as well, we talked about Southgate, where we was, let's say, a little bit critical of Southgate in the past just because he didn't make enough subs. I think the difference is with Carsley, he sees it straight away and then just makes a sub. There was an opportunity where Stampfield went through one-on-one, he missed it, he'd run his race, he was knackered, changed straight away. And I think that is a difference. I think he's doing a brilliant job.
Could get another go at some point. We'll see. Before we depart, I've got to give a shout out. I don't know whether you've seen it, the story of Santi Cazorla.
I love this story so much.
I mean, obviously, at one point, his Arsenal career, we were told he would never likely play again through a horrendous Achilles injury. He was amongst the scorers in a dramatic 3-2 aggregate win for his boyhood club, Real Oviedo, against Mirandas. It booked Real Oviedo's place back in La Liga after 24 years. A fairy tale return for him, really. And he came back then. I read this thing about that he just wanted to help the club. And he didn't actually want to play for any money, but because of the rules, you had to be paid. So he was basically on a minimum wage. And the scenes at the end were glorious.
Yeah, 40 years old as well. You actually couldn't write this story.
Yeah.
So what you saying, there's hope for me? I'm only 36.
Yes! The comeback is on, Micah.
There are miracles, and then there are miracles, Micah.
Is that all you are, 36?
Yes.
Goodness me.
I'm actually 37 tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Same day as Messi.
Don't ring me. Don't text me. Don't reach out. My phone goes off on my birthday, so I will not respond tomorrow.
So we won't bother wishing you happy birthday.
No.
Can we do it now, though? Can we do it now?
I'll have
happy
to go.
birthday for tomorrow, Micah. Happy birthday. May all your wishes come true. Oh, great stuff. What a way to finish. That's all we've got time for today on The Rest is Football. We'll be back on Wednesday as Chelsea, PSG, Atletico Madrid, Messi's Inter Miami and Bayern Munich are all back in action. Don't forget, every single match is available to watch live and for free on the DAZN app. No subscription required. For now, though, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.